Hi, I'm Tess,
Hi, I'm Sarah, and we are.
the Happy Edit Sisters. Happiness isn't just being happy, it's an embodied feeling that starts with how we approach life, our actions, and our mindset. Everyone has a range of emotions, and that's a good thing.
Join us as we dive into what it means to be happy and how we build a foundation for happiness through different lenses.
Hi, Sarah.
Hi Tess, how are you?
I am good. I am just so happy to be here again with you. How are you doing?
I'm doing really well, thank you. Yeah, I'm doing good. Um, so we think this episode is going to be released in early November. Um, so yeah, there's been lots and lots of change, which is kind of part of the season that we're talking about. And so some quite exciting, quite scary, but very exciting news that I thought I would share with the listeners as well. Um, so I have been previously working for a charity for 5.5 years, and over the last 18 months or so, I'd gone part-time and was building up my private practice as a therapist and now a clinical supervisor as well, and obviously doing the podcast with you, Tess, for coming
Yes.
up to nearly a year. So it's what, 10 months that we kind of put this all in motion. Um, and after 5.5 years, I've handed my notice in and I'm leaving very shortly to become my own little boss. And um, yeah, in my little cabin, my little shed. So this is where I'm going to be based. So lots of exciting changes that are on the horizon. I think on the back of that, it really got me thinking about the challenges that we might experience in life and the changes that we experience and how we can maybe view them from different perspectives. So today we're going to have a little bit of a think, aren't we, Tess, about like reframing things.
Yeah.
So we thought we'd have a little bit of a look at that. Lots of change and exciting times ahead.
Yes, and I just want to put out here, welcome to the entrepreneur world. Woo, full-time entrepreneur. Isn't it exciting and terrifying all at once?
It really, really is. I think I may have sent you a message with that on. This is obviously something that I've discussed with Tess lots and lots of times, and yeah, it just now was the right time for me. And I think that's really important that we recognize when the right time is. And again, that's all about reframing, isn't it? We might have an idea in our head that we need to do something, we need to do it now, but it just doesn't quite feel right, and that's okay. It's okay to wait a little bit. Um, but trust is a big word, and I think you may have said that to me once or twice. It's going to be fine.
Yeah, yeah. And also with that, the whole reframing as well, and like reframing to yourself that you're not alone, right? And you have a support system. And even if it's not the system that maybe you realize right off the bat, maybe it takes time and a little self-study to kind of realize what your support system looks like. But, to like, so I think so often we get stuck in this idea that we're alone in our experiences and no one else has experienced it before.
Mm.
Whereas I would say probably 99.9% of the time, someone else has had some very similar experience. And, we can reach out to those systems. Maybe it's a community, maybe it's um, a therapist, a family friend, a coach, whoever it is, just to remember that you're not alone and you do have the support and in this journey of life.
Definitely, definitely. And just as you were talking then, Tess, it made me think about maybe some of the clients that I work with. So whether that's young people, whether that's adults, you know, whether that's families. And, those negative thoughts they might kind of experience, those negative intrusive thoughts, that can be really quite debilitating, and create lots of anxiety, lots of stress, lots of pain and hurt. And sometimes we have to look at something from a different angle, maybe, or a different lens, and put a different perspective on it as well. A little thing, actually, if I can share it with you. So I was on a workshop today so I do some work for an organization, Space to Be You. And I was on a workshop earlier on. And one of the examples that the lovely Alison, I'm sure she won't mind me mentioning her, gave was that if we put our hand in front of our face, what do we see? And I wonder whether, Tess, that's something that you could kind of
Doing.
say to me. So if you put your hand right in front of your face, what can you see?
How close am I keeping my hand? Like so close I have to
Really close,
like
really,
cross
really
my
close.
eyes.
Yeah. What can you see?
Okay, what can I see? I see different shades of my skin. So
Yeah.
like from like spots that are quite white to a little bit pinker, maybe a bit darker, in sort of the creases of my palm. I see it all kind of just sort of mashes. I don't want to say mashed together, but it's all quite smooth together. It's like it's kind of hard, and my depth perception isn't great, so it all kind of just kind of melts together.
It's not
My
quite
palm is really close
focused.
to my face, by the way, everyone.
Yeah, no, that's what we
Um,
want it. Right up close, nearly hitting you in the nose.
yeah, no, it's not totally focused, but then there's those points that are a little bit more focused. So like in the corner of my vision, I can see like the light glinting off of my ring that I got from my grandmother, was my great grandmother's ring. And so that's actually funnily that it keeps taking my gaze up there. So even though I'm focusing on the center of my palm, my gaze keeps going up to this light reflecting off of the ring.
Oh, I love that. I love that. And if you move your hand further away, so if you move it like a good distance away, what can you see now? So
I mean, I
not just
noticed the
looking,
different
not just
points.
looking at your hand though, Tess. What else can
Oh,
you see?
okay. So like just like the surroundings around the hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I obviously noticed my hand, but I can see the computer screen behind. I can see you. I can see my many plants that I have surrounding in my office space. My calendar. Yeah, just lots of different things. I noticed the lights, sort of the shadows on the wall, light changes, lights reflecting different ways off of the new leaves on my plant versus the older leaves on I've got a bonsai next to me.
Hmm.
How much more detail do
Yeah.
you want?
No, that's good. That's good. So when the hand is really close, we see maybe the different shades on your hand, different lines on your hand. Sometimes it might be more focused on one part, but it can feel a bit blurred together, maybe a little less focused. But then also, I really love the fact that you was able to see those glimpses of the ring as well. So actually, you were able to see a little bit outside of that hand. But when we moved that hand further away, you were able to see so much more in front of you. So you were able to see what was in your surroundings. Yeah. So you kind of noticing the flower, the plants, sorry, noticing the computer. So noticing lots of different things around you.
Yeah.
So sometimes when people experience maybe those difficult moments in life, those challenges, those intrusive thoughts, it might feel like that hand right up in your face that you can't really see much other than the hand. And it can also feel unfocused. It could feel a bit blurred. Every now and again, though, I love the fact, Tess, that you were able to see the glimpses. So we sometimes we might be able to see those glimpses, but maybe not quite enough to change that perspective, to change that, to reframe those feelings, those thoughts. But actually, when we move the hand further away, does that then allow us to explore those alternatives, explore the other things around us, so that this negative thought, for example, isn't the only thing that is present, that there are other things present. So there's the beauty in the leaf, maybe, and it could be those small things, couldn't it? So what might feel like a very, very difficult situation, we can reframe it to, okay, that is a difficult situation. I'm noticing that's a difficult situation. That's a difficult feeling. That's a difficult emotion. That's a difficult thought. And I also notice the joy, the beauty, those small, it might be just small things initially that we notice as well, that's within our life. And that's just one example, really, that, I was very fortunate that Alison shared that with us today.
I love that so much. And I'm definitely going to take that into my sessions for little education, because it's just so beautiful, right? And it's such you're not only as like, you're not just thinking about it as the thoughts though, but you're using your awareness of your own body with that. And so you're really bringing it home into you. And so it's not just this random thing that someone's telling you, okay, do this, but like you're seeing it, because you're seeing, okay, first you're seeing your own body, and you're seeing how that changes when you look it up a bit close, when you look at it, taking that step back, but then also what you have in your surroundings. That's so beautiful. Thank you.
Yeah. You're welcome. You're welcome. And it was really powerful when Alison shared it. And one of my colleagues actually said, I've just got to really share this thought that, actually, though, when we then turn our hand around, it looks different. And that's the idea of reframing as well, isn't it? Is, oh, if I flip it on the other side, what does it look like that way? So I'm having this negative, intrusive thought. It might be, I'm not good enough. Yeah. Or I'm not valued. I'm not loved. Everybody hates me. Whatever that thought might be. Yeah. And we flip it around. And actually, what is the exact opposite to that? Yeah. What's the exact opposite? That feeling of anxiety. That feeling of anxiety for me is so close to a feeling of excitement. So close. And I always think, is this anxiety, or is this a nervousness that's a little bit of excitement, a little bit of butterflies? I wonder whether we've had that feeling before, where we just don't know which way it is.
Yeah, bringing that awareness to it, right? And like the languaging behind it, and just observing what's happening. I love that, because you're bringing that awareness in, how is that coming out in the body? How's that coming out through the feelings? Is it similar to different things? And how can I then use that knowledge to, reframe how I experience things, reframe how I respond to things instead of react to things. I think that that's a really beautiful comment. So thank you so much, Sarah. I'm totally bringing in the hand and that observation into my sessions, because it goes so well with what I do as well. So thank you.
Oh, welcome.
And so later on, we will have a longer episode that dives a little bit more into this language of support and reframing. But we wanted to give you this little tool here that you could kind of explore and just start noticing within yourself. And that visualization that Sarah shared is just so wonderful. So thank you for that.
Oh, you're very welcome. And I really hope other people kind of find that helpful as well, just to stop and just notice.
Yes. Our favorite.
Yeah. It's definitely a word of the season, isn't it? I think we're going to have to look at those words, see which ones we tally up the most.
I know. Yeah. Does anyone have an app that Or have you been listening, right? Maybe this is something for our listeners. Have you been hearing similar words that we keep repeating? What words stick out to you? Let us know. This is actually something that'd be really interesting to hear about. So if there's been certain words that keep coming up that you keep hearing in the different episodes, send us a message about it. Let us know.
Yeah, especially the fact that we're going to be talking about language as well. That was so interesting.
It would be. Please let us know soon so we can fit that into the languaging episode.
Love it. Thank you for listening, everybody.
Yes, thank you. Thank you very much. Bye.
Bye.
At the Happy Edit podcast, we're mindful that the podcast is not in replacement of therapy. If you do need further support, please do contact us on our contact details in the show notes. And we're more than happy to offer further support and guidance and direct you to places like the counselling directory or therapy directories. If you do also need further support, we would also recommend you contacting your primary healthcare provider. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll see you all soon.